Originally, we were just going to review the El Crimson King animation video. I kept saying puppet video, and some people corrected me. It is an animation video. Now, there are puppet videos out there, but those are a whole different story. But before we watch that one, I decided to make this a mini 2017 Panda Lee video. This first one is fucking hilarious, and it's her essentially roasting his sorry ass. And I know some of you are going to remember this one immediately. After that, we're going to watch most of the hospital story. And then I have 2 more surprises for you. And, well, I'm not going to ruin them yet. This first video is from Mr. HuthStuff. And it's titled Leanna the Detractor. And it's from March 11th of 2017. Less a fucking ago.
There's another robot body.
I imagine you don't have probably 30 seconds.
What? I still can't hear you.
Yeah.
I seriously can't. I'm wearing headphones.
That's what I thought.
I can't hear you. You're saying stuff and all I hear is blah, 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 blah. That's what I hear.
Don't worry, that's what I hear when you talk too.
Alright, here we go. How the fuck am I gonna do this?
Typical men can't satisfy the simple needs of a woman.
What are you talking about? Now you made me waste a healing item. Well, everyone in stream chat's reacting, but I'm trying to concentrate on what I'm doing here.
Well, that'd be a first.
God damn it. Darth Viking says, what a singer. But I don't even know what that means. What a singer. No one's singing. No one's singing, but I'm dying. I can't get this mission. It's tough.
Well, you know, we'll just have to end the stream early and I can take you to the Burn Wars.
Alright, well, can I please concentrate? Can I please concentrate now? Thank you. Thank you. Can you allow me to concentrate on the game? Stop distracting me. I'm not gonna be able to do this.
Oh shit. You couldn't do it, even though I did distract you.
Yeah, no, because you are distracting me just by sitting here. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
Oh shit. It's almost as if you're pushing your problems onto me.
I'll come back later.
I'm ready for my apology now.
Has nothing to do with apologizing. You were distracting me.
I am ready for my apology, please.
No, you're not getting one. You're not getting one because you were incredibly distracting when I was trying to do it.
Oh, well, excuse me. I'm sorry. My feminine wiles are so distracting.
They are.
To you as a man.
This is a man zone. This whole room is a man zone. I spray it with musk every night.
Well, then guess what? This down here can remain a man
It is a man zone, too.
Yeah, well, guess what? There's never going to be a woman in that man zone now. Ever. For that. Excuse me while my feminine wiles
anyway,
distracted you.
Since you're trying to hijack the entire stream here, I'm going to see if this guy has another mission. It looks like it unlocked. God damn it! I screwed up the jump. It's all your fault.
Wow, not even trying now. Now everything's just my fault.
It is! It's your fault!
Oh, well, Jesus, it must also be my fault when the laundry is done, when I cook you delicious meals. I'm sorry, I am such
Oh
a
my
horrible
God.
human being.
It's not that kind of stream.
Such a horrible person.
Alright, so sorry everyone, I wasn't actively reading the stream chat there for a little bit simply because I was doing these challenging side missions. It's kind of hard to be reading while I'm also doing these side missions, but
That ending too. Such a horrible person. The way she says it, man. It makes me laugh so much. That shit was perfect right there. And again, shout out to Mr. HuthStuff because that was a great fucking video. And that's already 4 years old, man. Believe it or not. And I know she wasn't a 10, but look at this fucking picture. Look at him and then look at her. She dodged a fucking bullet, but let's go back to the beginning. I can't understand what she said. It's like, I imagine you don't have, and then the audio just like blares so you can't understand what she says. But after that, she burned his fucking ass, man. That was a pig roasting. And his behavior is so embarrassing. It makes me think back to middle school. Like, not even high school, back to middle school, where a guy would be around a girl that he likes, but all of his friends would be around too. So he would pretend that he didn't even like her or try to rag on her. But this guy's in his fucking mid-30s and his friends are a bunch of outcasts on the internet, a bunch of fucking losers. And he's acting this way. He legit said he couldn't concentrate on his video game because she was just standing there. And she was, she was clearly looking for attention here. But she was young and stuck with this guy. No friends or family around her, outside of maybe a work friend or two. This is the only way she could get the attention, man. It's no wonder she left his sorry fucking ass. But yeah, that ending just cracks me up. And again, shout out to Mr. HuthStuff, because that is a fucking classic video. Shout out to Leanna for that one, wherever she's at. Panda Lee. But that was a good one. So now we're going to move on to El Crimson King. His puppet, or I keep saying fucking puppet, man. Animation video. The hospital story. Another fucking classic. And, well, let's see what we got.
Okay, so I go to the hospital, and I walk in to the front main area because I don't know where to go. I don't know if they brought her to emergency. I don't know if she's going to be admitted to the hospital. I don't know what's going on, how serious this whole situation is. I have no idea. Okay. Fly Eagles Fly. Shout out to Fly Eagles Fly, who just did just subscribed to the channel, actually. Thank you, Fly Eagles Fly. I appreciate that. So I walk into the hospital. There's an information desk. It's completely empty. There's no one sitting there. You can tell there's 4 chairs, no one there. I guess because it's Sunday, no one works at this hospital or whatever. So I'm looking around, I'm pacing back and forth. What do I do? Who do I talk to? Finally, I find a phone. It says, "Oh, lift this phone for information." Okay, I pick up the phone. Hello, is this who is this? Can you help me? My girlfriend, I think she's in the hospital somewhere. And they're like, "Oh, okay, what's her name?" I give her the name. Like, "Okay, she's still over in emergency, so go this way and go to emergency." Okay, would have been nice if, there was a fucking human working instead of me having to find a random phone that was hidden in this hallway. So, okay. I go through this lobby, I go to the emergency. So, again, I walk to emergency, now there's a line, and I'm like, well, these are people who are hurt, what do I do? So I get in line, but I'm looking around. I wait in line for like 5 minutes, and I realize to my left, way over here, on a tiny little sign, not even like apparent, little sign, it says, "Visitor check-in." I'm like, wow, if only there was a big fucking sign so everyone would know where to go when they walk into this hospital, instead of this tiny rinky-dink sign you can't even see from the front door. So if I get out of the line I'm in, I go over there, talk to a security guy, makes a copy of my license, checks me in. He says, "Okay, she's down there. She's in room 28. I said, "So what's the deal?" He says, "Well, it says here, she had another anxiety attack." Well, not another, because they don't know that she's had them in the past. He says she had an anxiety attack. Apparently she's drugged, and she's in this room awaiting a doctor to kind of come in or whatever. I guess a doctor coming in to check her out. Or no. Actually, I take that back. He said, no, he did say that. He had told me there was a doctor that was checking her out or something like that. And I was like, okay. So.
Alright, El Crimson King was a fucking genius, man. Wherever you're at, dude, I know he hasn't posted a video in a while. Come back, man. Because this was fucking genius. And could you imagine him animating the bank leak stuff and all the other shit that's come out lately? But when DSP went to stand in line, or in the emergency line, one guy had his fucking brains hanging out, and I think the other guy was fucking dead already. So it's just fucking genius. And then back to the beginning, Fly Eagles Fly resubs. Ugh, fuck that guy. If there's one thing I hate more than pay pigs, it's probably Eagles fans. And I know there's a couple of those fucks in the Discord, and you little pieces of shit know who you are. The other thing that stands out to me in this video is how this guy makes Americans look bad. Whenever they think of the dumb, entitled American, I guarantee he's the fucking stereotype, man. It's so embarrassing even having to associate with this piece of trash. But anyways, off to a good start already. Let's see what the next clip is.
No. I walk through, I go all the way to the back of the emergency area where they've got her in a room, and I go in, and she's conscious, but she's kind of loopy. You could tell they drugged her or something, because she wasn't, no panic or nothing, no anxiety or nothing. She was just like, oh, like loopy like this, right? So I, obviously say you're okay, you didn't fall, you didn't hit your head or nothing, right? No, just, it happens, it sucks because it happens every once in a while, and now this is the worst one she's ever had, so maybe that she has to go see, her doctor and try to get some kind of thing to take care of it, because the bottom line is with anxiety attacks, they suck. The reason that they suck is there's really no way to cure them, okay? There's things you can do, like, for example, you could try a certain kind of breathing, or if there's someone who's, like, constantly has mental issues and is having these problems, they could go on an antidepressant, but that's not the situation here. The situation is every once in a while she just gets one, and now it's like a tizzy. You gotta try to calm her down, right? Now, in this case, they drugged her. So she got drugged, she was woozy or whatever. So I sat there with her, and I'm not even kidding. We were sitting there waiting. I said, well, what are we waiting for? And she says, I guess they told me that there's going to be a counselor that's going to be coming in and talking to me about this and what happened or whatever to make sure I'm all right. And then, we can't get any further help or diagnosis until this counselor comes in. Okay. All right. So we're sitting there, and I look down, and on her left, she's on a hospital gurney or whatever, sitting there in the room. On her lap is a brochure. I said, what's this? I pick it up. Finance, how to pay. Finance. I'm like, you're in the emergency room. They already gave you a way to pay the bill? And I'm looking at it like, imagine if you were here and you had your arm chopped off and your arm is fucking splurting blood. Before they start suturing it, do they hand you the payment brochure first just to be sure you could fucking pay? I couldn't believe it. I was like, if that was me and I was sitting in an emergency room, I'd be fucking offended that they would hand me this up front like that. Seriously, I'd be like, get the fuck out of here with this. I'm insulted that you hand me a payment fucking plan already. I mean, this is ridiculous. I couldn't believe it, okay? I couldn't believe it.
This fucking guy, man. But her arm wasn't chopped off, Phil. She had an anxiety attack. And so what if they gave her the fucking bill? Wait, this guy has to turn every story into something about himself. I mean, he's annoyed that he has to sit there with her for a certain amount of time. Have you ever went to stay at the hospital with a loved one? Yeah, it fucking sucks waiting around, but it's not about you, man. It's about the person that needs to be there. I mean, I'd fucking legit stomp him out, man. And I know I shouldn't say that on video, but I would fucking stomp his ass out. And it would be justified too. The cops would probably shake my hand afterwards, but you can tell that they were already broken up by this point. He'll never admit it, and honestly, I don't think he has, but it's obvious from the way he was just throwing her info around and the disregard he has for her that they were split up at this point. And he doesn't give two fucks, man. He's just so bothered that he has to be there and that his time is being wasted and he can't play his fucking video games. Fuck you.
We wait there. How long? Now, let's see. How long did we wait? Let's see if people can take a guess. How long did we wait? Did we wait 10 minutes? No. Did we wait 20 minutes? No. Did we wait 30 minutes? No. Did we wait 40 minutes? No. Did we wait 50 minutes? No. Did we wait an hour? No. An hour goes by. No one's come in. No nurse. No counselor. Nothing. We're just sitting there doing nothing. And we're like, well, what is this? Are we even aware of what's going on here? And, at this point, she was starting to get hungry because now it's like around the time that we would normally eat or whatever. And we're like, God, this is no good. Now we'll be starving, or we got to figure out what's going on. So I said, okay, let me leave and go find someone. So I leave the room and I walk down the hallway, and there's like a desk at the end of this emergency room hallway. And I say to the girl there, oh, excuse me, my girlfriend is over in room 28. And, she had a panic attack. They drugged her, and we need to know what's going on. We're wondering, is there a counselor coming or whatever? Because we're in the dark. We're just standing here. We're not even sure what's going on. And the girl literally looks at me like this and says, I don't know, and no one here knows anything. I was like, wow, what great help, right? But she says, so go back to the room and press the call button. Then a nurse will show up, and the nurse will be able to tell you what's going on. Okay. I couldn't believe it. I'm not making it up. She actually said that to me. No one here knows anything. Okay. This is great. I know you're loving this story. I'm loving this story. Okay. So then I go back to the room. I tell Leanna, listen, you're going to have to buzz to find out what the hell's going on here. So she buzzes, and we wait. And we wait. About 5 minutes. It wasn't too bad. Nurse comes in. Woman, she says, what's wrong? What's going on? And Leanna says, well, no, she's so groggy, she can barely talk. She's like, oh, nothing, I just want to know what's happening here. Are we waiting for a counselor, a doctor, or whatever? And the woman looks at us with, like, a look of scorn, right? A look of scorn. She's like, you've only been here, like, an hour and a half, and we have other patients. And I'm like, what kind of fucking place is this? Like, you're gonna talk down to the patient who's been waiting an hour and a half and no one's come in to tell her the status of what's going on, and she asks and you get angry? And I'm like, what the hell? So I said, listen, we're both hungry. She needs food. She hasn't eaten today. So the woman says, okay, I'll go get you some food. So she leaves. She comes back with a turkey sandwich. It's like turkey on rye bread with a piece of lettuce and a piece of cheese and like a packet of mustard and a couple saltines and a apple juice and like a little... The apple juice looked like it was in like a yogurt cup. I've never even seen apple juice stored like that before. And a string cheese. Now, Leanna hates string cheese, and Leanna wasn't super hungry for like a sandwich, so she ate some saltines. Good, she got something in her, and there was water there to give her water. She didn't want the apple juice.
And, of course, he fucking eats it all. Meanwhile, she gets crackers and water. Can't make this shit up, man. The only thing I could think of here was that he was probably fucking expecting DoorDash to show up. But I guess they weren't around back then. But back to the beginning of it. Direct quote. She's starting to get hungry because it's around the time we would normally eat or whatever, unquote. Yes, Phil, put the fucking blame onto her. What a fucking man. And of course she gets crackers and water. And he eats everything else. So he says the lady at the information desk was rude to him and told him to go back to the room and push the button. I hope that honestly did happen. She should have fucking smacked you on the head after she said it too, bitch. And then he says that the nurse was rude to him. Well, gee, Phil, it's not like you're in a fucking hospital, much less an emergency room, and they have actual emergencies to tend to. Sorry, it's not your little fucking Nintendo games, you dumb fuck.
Or the apple juice or whatever. All right. So now we wait again. We're waiting. And waiting. So anyway, I forgot to tell you, before the nurse left, she said, the counselor is coming, you just have to wait. You have to wait because there's other people here. I'm like, wow, thanks. How long did we wait for the counselor? What do you think? Did we wait an hour and a half? Yeah, well, longer than that. We wait an hour and 45 minutes? No, okay, maybe we waited 2 hours? Yeah, no, longer than that. Almost 2.5 fucking hours we sat there, okay, waiting for a counselor to come into the room. The counselor was an elderly woman. You could tell she was probably in her 60s, white woman. Comes in with 2 pieces of paper. Okay, she comes in. Hi, how you doing? Are you in pain? No, that's good. You're still having anxiety? No, that's good. Okay. They gave you some drugs, right? Yeah, okay, that's why you're calm. That's why you're woozy. It's because you're on the drugs. So here's 2 pieces of paper explaining what anxiety attacks are. Have you ever had an anxiety attack before? And I'm like... So they admitted her, or they didn't admit her, they bring her into the emergency room, they administered a drug, and no one even asked her when she was brought in anything at all. They had no basic information whatsoever about this thing. She'd been sitting there for 2.5 hours. She might have been having a life-crippling anxiety attack where she's gonna fucking, lose her mind and be mentally lose her shit. And she comes in and asks, did you ever have an anxiety attack before? She's like, yes. Are they usually like this? Well, I have them, but this is the worst one I've ever had. Oh. Well, do you have a doctor? Yeah. A primary care physician? Yeah. Well, we recommend that you go see your doctor then. I'm like, oh my God, are you fucking for real? Are you fucking for real? Okay. Then she says, so, there are different ways that we can help with stuff like this. Primarily, what it is we recommend you don't take any drugs at all. You just wait it out, okay? Now, obviously, just waiting it out doesn't work in the situation that Leanna was in, to the point where they called the paramedics. The paramedics recommended drugging her. So this woman is obviously a fucking buffoon, okay? So then she said, so typically you should just wait it out, but there's other ways you could do. If it's something that happens all the time, then you could do antidepressants, and that's a long-term medication. But since it doesn't happen all the time with you, usually we just have this, what we call kind of an emergency pill, where if you ever have a bad attack, you could just pop the pill, almost like an EpiPen. It's like an emergency issue where if you have an allergic reaction, you pop yourself with that EpiPen and it solves the problem. So same thing here. You have a problem, pop the pill, right? And it'll cure the problem or whatever. But obviously she goes, but we don't recommend you do that all the time because as you can see, you are tired and loopy and you don't want to be that all the time, right? And I'm like, this is the most, stupid, what's the word I'm looking for? patronizing woman I've ever heard in my life. She's given zero useful information whatsoever, and we waited 2.5 fucking hours for her. Okay? By the way, I'm not done yet, but I want to give a shout out to Smart Weirdo 95 who did a 2,000-bit cheer. Thank you, Smart Weirdo 95. He says, I've been watching since I was in middle school. Now I'm in college. Thanks for entertaining me over the years. Thank you very much, Smart Weirdo. That's very appreciated. 2,000-bit cheer is awesome, and obviously he is the cheerleader today for the stream. Okay?
And there's your typical fucking DSP fan. That's the reason he's even still around. It's not because he has real fans or new fans. It's these morons that were around as children and they still feel the need to support him because they feel responsible for him. It's so sad, man. I legit can't even imagine being in his fucking position. But back to the beginning of it. He does this stupid shit again where he's listing off the amount of time he had to wait. And to be honest, I don't even fucking believe him. This dude exaggerates everything. Fuck off, man. Then, the poor little old white lady counselor having to deal with this fucking idiot. God bless this woman. This sweet little old lady. And he's trying to turn her into the devil. Are you kidding me, man? And then a direct quote. This woman is obviously a fucking buffoon. Unquote. Coming from a literal fucking buffoon. That's rich, Philippos, whatever the fuck your name is. Next clip.
Okay. Okay. So, she literally says, okay, well, I'm done. See you later. And she starts walking out the door. I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. What's going to happen now? Are we still staying? Or are you going to get a doctor? What's going to happen here? And she says, I guess I'll go talk to the doctor. And then she leaves. All right. American healthcare, ladies and gentlemen. What a great system we have, right? So guess how long that we waited? Guess how long that we waited, folks? About another 20 minutes, I would say. About another 20 minutes, we just sat around doing nothing. So now for a grand total, we've been in this place for almost 3 hours, okay? Almost 3 whole hours. Finally, who comes in the room? The doctor, right? The doctor comes in and says, oh, let's see. No, the nurse comes back in. The same nurse that gave us the sandwich. Oh, well, we had your blood pressure monitored this whole time. Your blood pressure looks fine. Everything looks good. She turns off all the machines. She says, okay, you can go. Wait, that's it? So you're not going to prescribe a medication? You're not actually going to do any tests? You're not going to do anything? That we just waited 3 hours. All you did is you gave her a pill, which you could have fucking done, and just left her somewhere. There was no reason for her to come to the emergency room whatsoever, because they did nothing. They didn't actually help her in any way besides just give her a pill.
Direct quote. You gave her a pill, which you could have fucking done, and just left her somewhere. There was no reason to come to the emergency room whatsoever. Because they did nothing. They didn't help her in any way besides just give her a pill, unquote. I wonder why she left you, David. I wonder why she left your sorry fucking ass, man. He says they've been, quote, in this place almost 3 whole hours, unquote. What the fuck? You would think they've been there a day and a half by this point. This clown exaggerates and whines so much. But yeah, you gave her a pill, which you could have fucking done, and just left her somewhere. There was no reason to come to the emergency room whatsoever because they did nothing, and they didn't help her in any way besides just give her a pill. And you would think that he catches himself and realizes what he's saying. But this stupid son of a bitch is just going to double down again.
So we wasted over 3 hours in this emergency room. That was it. That was it. And then we're like shocked. We're actually shocked that this is it. This is the whole treatment that we got. So we're walking towards the front of the hospital. And there's this area here that says, if you are, being, what's the word? Discharged, you have to stop here. So we stopped there, and the woman, and she looks around the corner. She says, "Hi." She said, "Well, did the nurse give you the paperwork that said what you're here for?" And we're like, "Yeah, here's the paperwork about anxiety." "Okay, bye. See you later." That was it. So 3 hours in a hospital, in an emergency room area, nothing whatsoever useful was done whatsoever to Leanna. The drug that they gave her to help her was an hour earlier. That's American healthcare. Now, by the way, I guarantee you, we don't know what the bill is because we don't have it yet. They're going to mail it, obviously. I guarantee you it's going to be like $1,000. I'm not even exaggerating. I guarantee you that bill's going to fucking show up, and it's going to be anywhere between $500 to $1,000. I guarantee it. Yeah, she has insurance. She actually is covered in insurance because she's already under the plan of her mother. That's what was one of the things that Obamacare actually helped with, is that it allows people who are young enough to be covered up to the age of 26 under the health insurance plan of their parents. So she's still covered under her mother. But I guarantee you, we're going to get a giant bill in the mail. For nothing. For a pill. Where they could have just handed her the pill and said $80 for the pill or whatever. But instead they had to bring her to the fucking hospital and they did nothing. They literally did nothing to help her. And now she's going to get a giant bill. So there you go. Isn't that a great story, ladies and gentlemen? Isn't that great? I mean, it's just such a great American healthcare system, right? So now she's zonked out. She's sleeping, in the room because of, everything. She's still on the pills made her all loopy or whatever. So, I mean, we did on the way home. I stopped and we got food. I grabbed like chicken sandwiches and we just ate them and now she's sleeping. So that's what happened. Unbelievable. Like, oh my God. The thing is, I know if this ever happens again, I'm going to tell them, you are not allowed to bring her to the hospital. No, you get no permission to fucking do it. You can't give her a pill. You want to give her a pill. And that's it, because you're just going to waste our time again. You didn't help us at all.
Direct quote. The thing is, I know if this ever happens again, I'm going to tell them, you are not allowed to bring her to the hospital. No, you get no permission to fucking do it. If you want to give her a pill, and that's it. Because you're just going to waste our time again, unquote. It's like every week, I rewatch these videos to prepare for them, and then I think to myself, this is the worst thing I've ever seen him do. And then the next week comes along, and I'm like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen him do. This is going to go on forever. I'm never going to run out of videos. This is incredible. I don't even know what to say anymore. Again, El Crimson King, man, come back, dude. This was fucking tremendous. But if you go back to when he's wheeling her down the hallway, everybody is looking up in disgust and recognizing him as the guy that live streamed himself masturbating. Fucking tremendous, man. And then here we go. Another direct quote. We don't have it yet, but I guarantee you the bill is going to be like $1,000, unquote. Didn't we just hear this fucking shower story? And what was the bill going to be like? $1,000? Even though he hadn't even called the fucking plumber yet. What is his fascination with this number? Does WWE champions have some kind of $1,000 package? What the fuck? Then another direct quote. They could have just handed her the pill and said $80, unquote. No, Phil. Those are called drug dealers, buddy. And I may or may not know that from experience. Just don't ask any questions. No, I kid. Maybe. And of course, he has to tell everyone that she's in her room drugged up, asleep. Thanks for sharing that info, Philip. We all appreciate it. I'm sure Rihanna did too. And of course, he had to eat again before the fucking clip was over. Now we're going to go into the last clip, but don't worry, because we're only about halfway done anyways. Whatever. Let's just fucking see what we got.
What I thought, when they said counselor, I thought they were going to have like an actual psychiatrist or counselor come in and talk, and let's talk, maybe I can talk it out and help you with some of your stress or your issues, or maybe something happened at work in particular that you could talk through that could help you so that you can get that stress relieved and it doesn't happen again. That was the biggest joke I've ever seen in my life. That woman could have been anyone. That woman could have been the fucking janitor that just walked in. Who knows? Because she had no knowledge besides what she had on a piece of paper. And by the way, the article, this is not even an exaggeration. The article they brought in about anxiety was from 1996. A 21-year-old outdated article from the Mayo Clinic about anxiety. Oh my God.
That's such a great fucking ending too. The fact that this moron sat there entitled this video emergency in all caps when it wasn't even his fucking emergency, and then decided to upload and fucking monetize it by the way. It shows you the type of person that he is and why he's in the position that he's in now. But then he sits there and blames the fucking trolls. I love it. I love it. And then again, of course, he has to run down the poor little old lady. Fuck you, Phil. Piece of shit. Can I get some prayer hands in chat for that sweet little old lady, please? And originally, we were just going to watch this video and break it down and laugh. But then I said, fuck that. After the shit he pulled Thursday about his shower not working and how it was going to cost $1,000 even though he hadn't called the plumber. And then accepting the amount of money he did from these stupid idiots after putting out a tweet and crying about it. I said, nah, we're going to stick the knife in a little deeper. So I went and got a couple of extra clips we're going to watch. And, well, let's just see what we got. Go.
Because I broke up with Leanna. Well, I should say we broke up, is what I should say. It was a mutual thing. And so now my schedule's different. And I do have more free time, but at the same time, I haven't really solidified how I want to do. You know, my sleep schedule is still all screwed up. And in addition to that, my eating is all screwed up. Because of all the life changes that happened to me this year. You know, it wasn't an easy thing transitioning from, you know, being in a 5-year relationship and transitioning back to being single. In particular, the one major change that's really screwed everything up for me is that I don't have anyone cooking dinner for me anymore. So, you know, I'm on a 4 or 5 hour stream. I get done with that stream, I have to rush downstairs to figure out what can I make for dinner to eat here that I can make and then clean up after myself immediately so I can get back to my second stream. And it's been pretty challenging. I'm not going to lie to everyone. And also there's an issue of space. You know, right now I have 0 space to do it. Eventually, if I could clean out the extra office, I could use that office for that kind of stuff, all right? And some people don't understand it. They're like, Phil, you should have someone come rent the room and stuff. People don't seem to understand that the office is not even cleaned out yet, all right? A lot of shit is still in there. And here, asking, what do I like about my girlfriend? Well, I could go through the entire laundry list of things. But obviously, number 1 would be her attractiveness. Number 2 would be her kindness and the way that she treats me, which is really nice. Which I'm not used to. Let's put it that way. Nothing but love.
They deserve to die, Jason.
Where's Leanna? Where's Leanna? You gonna have
oh, here we go again.
Problems?
Here we go again.
Huh? You gonna begging side, Phil? You gonna ban begging side, Phil? You gonna block begging side?
Well, this guy says you guys are in the game with the streamer Dark Side Phil. He's a massive asshole.
Oh, here we
He
go.
just had his girlfriend leave him because she had a panic attack and went to the ER.
Oh my god, why would he read that?
Cares.
What an
He
idiot.
wasn't allowed to ever go back to the ER if it happened again.
What
He
a-
also masturbated on stream on
Why
YouTube.
would he read
You are
this?
currently on stream with him. He says I've seen it.
89.7 KACC, we got a dedication in. These kids and their names, I swear. So, Darkside Phil wants to dedicate a song to Panda Lee. He wants to dedicate Baby Come Back by Player. I don't know what to say, guys. Okay, so, anyway, here's Baby Come Back by Player, and they actually wanted me to say Baby Come Back, ack, 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 ack. I don't get it. I really don't get it with these kids. But yes, Darkside Phil, here's your dedication to Panda Lee. And this is 89.7 KACC.
I'm out here with the pig. Getting ready for our pig roast today.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Look at me. I'm happy.
Look at me.
Alright, shout out to the Gout Police. That's a fucking classic, man. Great video. Well done, my friend. Very well fucking done. But let's start towards the end there. The song request of Baby Come Back, Ack Ack Ack. Are you fucking kidding me? God bless whoever did that, man. Although I'm starting to think DSP just got drunk one night and realized the current woman he had and just called up some random radio station and requested that song. Maybe. And speaking of, look at this whore on the casting couch right there, regretting every fucking decision she's made up until this point. Fuck you, Philip. And also, can we please get some prayer hands for that DJ and for 89.7 KACC or K-Ack, as they're better known now. Prayer hands, please. Let's go back to the beginning of it. And, excuse me, that clip was, the beginning of it was from June 5th, 2017. There's other clips that are later in the year. But that first one is from June 5th. And there's a direct quote it starts with, because I broke up with Leanna. Well, we broke up is what I should say. It was a mutual thing, unquote. Now, the original clip that we first played where Leanna's roasting his ass is from March, I believe, 17th of 2017. The El Crimson King animation story, hospital story, is from May 14th, I believe. He claimed that they were still together in later clips. That first one you just heard was from June 5th, 3 weeks after the hospital story. And he said, because I broke up with Leanna, well, we broke up is what I should say. It was a mutual thing. Did that sound like a fucking mutual thing to me? That sounds like the piece of trash here probably fucking exposed all her information. She got tired of it and left his sorry ass, and look who he had to get. He then goes on to say that his sleep schedule is all screwed up and that his eating is all screwed up. Such a fucking baby, man. Another direct quote. The one major thing that's really screwed everything up for me is that I don't have anyone cooking dinner for me anymore, unquote. Boo fucking who, Philip? He really got in front of a camera and said this shit. And Ket, I want you to know what your responsibility is. That's what he brought you in for, sweetheart. And it looks like you're recognizing that situation right now. And then, God bless those good Samaritans that caught him on the mic and just started throwing Leanna in his face. He needs that shit to be thrown in his face more often. And one more time, can we get some prayer hands for all the good Samaritans around the world? We salute you. Now, we're going to go on to the last clip of the video, and trust me, we still got a lot more to break down afterwards. This is another fucking classic, and as I originally said, this is essentially a Panda Lee 2017 story, less a fucking ago.
Let's see. The other thing, honestly, and this is more personal, I'm not going to get into it, obviously, is my breakup from this year. You know, I was with my ex-girlfriend for 5 years. 5 years is a lot of fucking time. Now, I didn't live with her all that time. We were going out long distance for 2 years, where every month she would come visit me for an extended weekend or whatever on the train. And then when there was opportunity for us to go on longer trips like vacations and stuff, we would do that together. And then finally, we were making a life together out here. We got to move out to Washington, and you know, this whole house was a project of both of ours. You know, and to see it fall apart the way that it did, really, it was incredibly hurtful. And you know, that's probably something I'll never get over in a lot of ways, because that was 5 years of my life. You know, 5 years of my life given to someone, really, when you think about it. And to have that fall apart. Now, there's all kinds of reasons for what happened, and I'm not going to tell you, because honestly, it's none of your business. I'm not trying to be insulting or being stingy or whatever, but it really is none of anyone's business what happened between me and her and why the relationship fell apart. And I'm not going to really share that, because it's just personal shit that, you know, you've seen what happened with the personal stuff that we shared over that 5-year period, how it was twisted against us and used to troll us and nasty stuff. I would never reveal the personal shit behind the scenes that happened, you know, that led to us basically breaking up. But it's incredibly hurtful. It's incredibly, incredibly hurtful. You know, and it sucks because I'm always going to have that scar, emotional scar inside of me of some 5 years. The thing is, too, we documented a lot of the stuff we did together. Look at the videos over the years. Every holiday, we put up a Christmas tree together and recorded it. All the vacations we went on. Hell, DSP Tries It, a running series that started with me solo and then ended up having her added to it because we lived together, right? And now it's solo again. It's sad because you go back to watch DSP Tries It, oh, look, she's in all of them, right? And it's like, damn, you know, she was a big part of my life. And to have that gone is just incredibly hurtful. All right. So those are the two things. Definitely. Those are the two things.
All right. And that one was courtesy of Mr. HuthStuff from October 27th of 2017. It was called Most Hurtful Moments. So he talks about in the beginning how she would come visit him early on for an extended weekend on the train. Fucking imagine that. She was 18 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And this dude was 28. And he has his 18 or 19-year-old girlfriend taking a multiple-hour train ride by herself to come see him. Meanwhile, this guy was making fucking bank on YouTube. Let that sink in. It can't be said enough how much of a piece of trash this fucking guy is, man. Then we get a direct quote. Finally, we were making a life together out here in Washington. This house was a project of ours, unquote. She was like 20 or 21 at that time. She shouldn't be settling down into some fucking retirement home with you, man. That's the prime of her life. It's fucking unbelievable. So then he says that was one of the things that hurts him the most in life, and how he's probably never gonna get over it. And of course he's talking about the breakup and what happened between them. But then he goes on to say, it's none of your business what happened and why it fell apart, and he's not gonna share that info. Keep in mind, this is 5 months after the hospital visit happened, and he's sitting there already months. And that's confirmed, by the way, months into a relationship with some whore from across the country that's living with another man at that time. And he's lying to people about it. He's sitting there trying to garner sympathy and get the pity bucks. And make no mistake about it, that's what he was doing there. Meanwhile, he's already planning his life with his fucking soulmate. That's what type of person he is, man. And that's why I'm gonna dunk on your fucking ass every chance I get, bitch. And then probably my favorite part of the clip happens. We get a Phil Burnell special here. He talks about all the memories he's made with Panda, and how she was in a lot of his videos, and how he shared all those memories with his viewers, and that it was a big part of his life. What he leaves out is the fact that he monetized every single one of those fucking videos. He wasn't making special memories with someone that he loved and wanted to spend the rest of his life with. Nah. He was literally just filming content to put on a fucking YouTube channel and make money off of. And the reason you know it's true is because he hasn't done that with his current soulmate but a couple of times. And look what happened each and every time he did it, and he still brought her back. And it wasn't until she got railroaded by that sick motherfucker called Tevin and the rest of his shithead fan base on Halloween night that she finally said no more. And then he turns around and fucking blames everyone else, just like he tried to blame Panda here. This grown-ass fucking man that can't look in the mirror and say that he fucked up. He can't say, you know what, maybe it was my fault. He can't accept any responsibility. It's always everyone else's fault, and it always will be. And that's why things are never going to get better for your sorry fucking ass. You deserve this life a bitch. And normally we were going to end it there. But you know what? We're going to do one more bonus clip as well that I found in this fucking video. And, well, it's not even about Panda, but isn't it Shawn Michaels?
Anything wrong. So if you're not told that something is hurting someone, or that someone has issue with you, or they wish that you would do something better, you can't change for the better. And that was the problem that I have with the whole situation, right? Is that I didn't know these things were going wrong. And if you don't know, you can't fix it. And so for me, when that video was released, was one of the most hurtful things that ever happened to me in my entire life, because these are guys who, at least I would say Howard, again, not so much I was always close with him, but John, I mean, for years, this is a guy who I had given life advice to. He had given me life advice. We'd helped each other out over the years with personal shit behind the scenes besides the YouTube videos. You know, there were many things that we tried to help each other with over that time frame when we were friends. And you know, there were times when, you know, financially, if I could help John in any way, I helped him, and he would help me emotionally with shit and stuff. You know, it was cool. It was like having a really close friend. That's what I thought he was. And then, you know, again, no inkling whatsoever when I moved that there was anything wrong. And then for a video to just come out of nowhere and completely blindside me, that here's all the things that I've done wrong, and this is why they don't talk to me. It's like, that was incredibly hurtful. That was probably one of the most hurtful things that could ever happen to me in my life, honestly. Because when you trust someone the way I trusted them, and for that to happen, and I'll be honest, since then, I don't have any real close friends on purpose. Because for me to accept someone in as a close friend and to share personal shit with someone that are going to do, you know, I'm afraid that someone might do the same thing. Tell me that I'm a good friend and tell me everything's good and everything. And then all of a sudden, oh, here comes another laundry list of shit, right?
Fucking beautiful. He talks at the beginning about personal life advice that he gave John. What personal life advice did you give him, motherfucker? You care about no one but yourself. And they both made that abundantly clear that Thanksgiving night podcast. And then he says John would help him out emotionally. Emotionally, huh? Emotionally, like calling him over 2 or 3 times a week to do co-op, despite the fact that he didn't even live in the same state as you. And then you would upload those videos as soon as you could to make money off them. And then the best fucking part of it, and the reason I included this clip, direct quote, and since then, I don't have any real close friends on purpose, unquote. That's why you don't have any close friends. Because it's a personal choice. This dude is so fucked up mentally and emotionally, but he can't help himself. He has to lie and cope with the fact that no one wants to even be around him unless it benefits them financially, like a certain whore that we all know. All right, that's pretty much the end of the video. So if you don't want to hear the shout outs and little update on the next video, you can go ahead and tune out now. Everybody else, I appreciate y'all coming out and showing up to the premiere and fucking supporting. I have to give some shout outs because people were very, very fucking generous, not only financially, but, you know, with the messages they send me. So let me give a couple of quick shout outs. First one goes to Obviously Sarah Says, and that's her name here on YouTube. She had a very long and detailed message for me. And she was saying that she pretty much feels the same way most of us do about this piece of shit and the stuff that he gets away with. You know, thank you for supporting what I'm doing here. And it's always nice to see the female detractors are in this with us as well. According to YouTube, it's a small percentage of the people that watch my videos, but they are here and they always make themselves known. So obviously Sarah Says, thank you again. And then believe it or not, Piece of Fucking Peace sent me a very nice contribution and message. And he reminded me of something that GTG said recently. And that was to not let others gatekeep how we feel about this sorry motherfucker or how we make our content. So thank you very much, Piece of Peace. That message meant a lot to me, man. Thank you, homeboy. And then Brother Man Bill said he did have $11.95 to support a detractor and that there was no interrogation needed. And I almost still called up my local law enforcement and requested the services of Officer Sanders, but then I pulled back at the last minute. But she did pass along a message and said, "What's wrong with you? You can't afford $11.95? Dumbass." And I'm not sure if it's pronounced Machenke or Machenke DK. And I've seen this guy before. This crazy motherfucker sent me a 3-letter bitch. I mean a 3-number contribution, and I think you all know what that is. And he just said to help with your move, you know, and I fucking appreciate it, man. And just so y'all know, I'm not buying a new house or anything like that, so it's not that bad. But sometimes it's just not that easy to come up with the first month's rent and a fucking deposit and then have money for everything else you need. So just know I'm not fucking struggling out here like a piece of shit that we all know. But, you know, what y'all give does help, man. And then Owen sent me something, and I didn't even see a message, but I recognize his name, and I know he sent me something in the past. So thank you again. I always appreciate you showing support, man. And then last but not least, my good friend Peachy sent me something and said it was for some pizza or something while I'm moving. And I had to let Peachy know that it wasn't even enough for a couple of fucking Hogan pulls, and that she needed to step up her support, or else I'm going to have to cancel the next video. So thank you, Peachy, and to everyone else that thinks enough of these videos to support this whole fucking thing. Thank you. Quick shout out to Carlos, who goes by Fitness65 here on YouTube. It's his birthday on Friday. He said he had a few days off and he was going to spend some time with his girl this week. And I told him I would give him a birthday shout out. So I hope you enjoyed your week, homie. Now, having said all of that, I do actually have a new computer. I haven't made a big deal out of it, but I have a new computer and I will probably be in a new house within 2 weeks. And I'm going to try to start doing a couple of live streams within 2 weeks and see how they go. I'm not going to restream him because he's boring as fuck live, and I don't like taking anything away from Dark Dave, so I'm not interested in restreaming him. But I'm very interested to see how these streams go over and whether or not I should even bother with them or just stick to the pre-recorded stuff. It's pretty much a neck and neck tie between 7 years of slander and his May 2nd, 2016 pre-stream, which was the day after his incident happened. So I'll keep an eye on the votes, and then I'll have another video up in a few days. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. I don't believe I am. Thank you all for fucking riding with me, and let's fucking go.